Hello, friends. It's Sherry. I'm the author of The Lighthouse Guide, Love and Advice from a Fellow Human. And I am talking today a little off the cuff. We'll see where it goes. I've said a few times over the last couple of years, what a time to be alive. And you may be thinking I'm a little bit nuts for that. You might be right. But I do feel that intensity of the moment. And I think that's what I'm tapping into when I say that. It's that this moment in history, this time we're living through, how incredibly difficult, but how incredibly important it is. We are bearing witness to a revolution of thought, of culture, of governance. In no other time in my lifetime has there been such a groundswell behind change. Normally, we run away from change, fear it, pretend it's not happening, but it's happening, and it's good. The change I'm seeing is authenticity. It's those who have been denied a voice using it, those who have been quieted, silenced, cast aside, stepping into their light and saying, I matter, we matter. And that's a powerful thing. That's a beautiful thing. It's too much of what we have accepted as a society is that the way things are is the way they have to be or are somehow meant to be. But that's not true. The truth is, we as humans made up these social constructs. We created and upheld the patriarchy. We drafted and allowed our government and its destruction. But you know what that means? That means we also have the power to change it. We have the power to come together and say, you know what? I'm not satisfied with the way things have been. And this is the way I want things to change going forward. We can choose not to accept the unacceptable. It makes me think of that little experiment, that social test that female presenting people often do. And that is to stand our ground. Most of you will understand what I'm saying, that in a public space where two humans are approaching one another, say on a sidewalk, in a grocery store aisle, in the past, our training has been to make way for the male. And if we don't do that, if we either just stop where we are or step aside a reasonable amount, taking up our rightful space, and they knock into us or glare at us, that's telling a lot about what needs to change, isn't it? What needs to change is that some of us in this society believe that it is their birthright to take up more space, to be louder, to be listened to preferentially. And why is that? There's this myth that we have that we should put a pin in that word, that we should respect our elders, those in authority. And yes, I agree. We should offer common courtesy to everyone we meet. But that doesn't mean that we should make our own voice and our own value subservient or less than someone simply because of the sex they were born or the position they hold. Respect is earned by being a good human. I think we could take a lot of our guidance from the animal kingdom. Anyone who has had a cat or a dog understands you cannot bully your way into their affection. You earn it, and you earn it by your actions. I would say the same holds true for people. And what we're seeing right now, perhaps, with so many up in arms about the changes that are being encouraged among so many in our society for equality and inclusion, what we're seeing are those who perhaps don't want to put forth the effort to treat each other with common courtesy, understanding the benefit of privilege that they've enjoyed for their lifetime. They are loath to give it up. But that is their area of growth, not ours. There's a passage in my book I want to read to you now. It's fairly short, but it's important. It's called All the Colors of the Rainbow. Speaking our truths, it always surprises me that there are people who can look around at the vibrant and varied world we live in, see all the species and colors and permutations which exist, and then claim that some arbitrary piece or vantage point within creation is superior to another. Our natural world is not binary, but measured by degrees and spectrums. To claim that some feature or facet or outward expression is the right way to exist and to ignore the many wonderful points of light up and down the spectrum of human experience is to trap us all in a monochromatic world. Make no mistake, whether we are speaking of the color of our skin, those we are attracted to, or how we identify ourselves, the choice to other anyone is about control, not morals. Shame is a tool society uses to discourage unwelcome behaviors. It's not wrong in and of itself. We shame people for picking their noses because it's gross and can lead to illness. And frankly, I'm all for that kind of social correction. But when shame is used against people for being their authentic selves, for merely daring to exist, it's no longer a tool of correction, but one of control and exclusion. When we shame people for being born with the wrong color skin or for feeling love for the wrong people, we are using shame as a weapon, not a tool. Are they picking their noses in public? No? Then let them be. I read this passage to you for two reasons. One is because it speaks about shame. And if we think about that, shame is all about the shoulds, how we should behave, what we should do, what we should not be saying, who we should not question. And that word should is a very powerful word. because it keeps a lot of people from taking up their rightful space. The second reason I read it is because it speaks to the change I'm excited to see. I'm seeing more and more people stepping into their authentic selves, and I love it. I love it for you. I love it for all of us. Do we really want to look alike, sound alike, act alike? How incredibly boring. Shame is only beneficial if it protects others. If it is used to exclude or silence them, then it is control and exclusion. Right now, as we see survivors speak up who have been silenced for decades, who have had their stories ignored or dismissed, they are saying they will not carry shame for another's shameful behavior. And that is powerful. That's using their voice, and that is the change that I am celebrating. That is why I'm looking at this time in history and saying, what a time to be alive. What a time to be able to bring the shameful acts into the light so that those who have harmed can be accountable, and to circle round in community and support those who have been harmed. This is a hard time to be human and empathetic and compassionate. For a lot of us, it is overwhelming. And I encourage you, if the news, if your social media, if your interactions with certain people are triggering, take care of you. Be gentle with you. Set reasonable boundaries. Talk to a professional. For those of us who simply don't want to acknowledge the harm and cruelty that exist in the world, this is a time for growth. This is a time to look within and deconstruct some of the harmful beliefs that have held you back. That have put your personal comfort above another's. And ask yourself whether that's okay with you. It's not okay with me. But in seeing and witnessing the truth, however difficult that is, we are placed in a position of power. It's now a time to make a choice of what we do with it. And that's it for today. I hope you found this thought-provoking. And if you hadn't heard yet today, I'm glad you were born. Till next time, take care.